Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Eric Holland. I have been a tour director with Fehr-Way Tours in Winnipeg since 2015. I'm here today to tell you a little bit about Fehr-Way's Atlantic Canada and Newfoundland 16-day tours taking place on September 9th and 13th of this year. Maybe just a little bit about Fehr-Way. Fehr-Way Tours is in its 44th year of operation. We have been conducting tours all throughout North America down to California, Vancouver Island, Atlantic Canada, which we'll talk a bit about today, down to South Carolina, Texas, Yukon, Alaska, as well as Hawaii, and some tours to Europe. But today we're here to talk about Atlantic Canada and Newfoundland. You'll see the route we'll follow here. We'll fly from Winnipeg into Halifax with a stopover in Toronto. We'll arrive in Halifax probably about 6 or 6:15. Our coach and driver will meet us at the airport and take us to the hotel for the evening. The package, this package tour includes a lot of attractions. You'll see a list there on your screen. We won't go through that list right now because I'll touch on many of these as I work my way through the presentation. So for time's sake, I won't do that right now. The meals you'll have included, you'll have 9 breakfasts, 3 lunches, and one of those will be a picnic lunch on the Cabot Trail. We'll talk a bit about that later, but that's a real nice day that we have on the trail and with our picnic lunch. We'll have 3 dinners, lobster dinner, a little place called North Rustico, just outside of Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. We'll have a wonderful evening together there, and we'll talk again a little bit about that further on in the slide presentation. We'll have a dinner together in Gander, Newfoundland, and then we'll have a special Fehr-Way farewell dinner in St. John's, Newfoundland. We'll also have a mug-up, which would be best described as a kitchen party. There'll be local entertainment, Newfoundland entertainment, along with some really nice tasty treats as well. So we'll be going into Halifax. We'll be there for 2 nights. Halifax is a beautiful city. I really like Halifax. Has a population of about 414,000 people. And then while in Halifax on day 2, so the day after we arrive, we'll have a step-on guide who will come on board the coach and take us on a tour of their hometown and take us to many of the special attractions in Halifax. We'll visit the Citadel. You see the top left corner, top left picture, a reconstructed fort right in the city of Halifax. We'll visit that. Lots of history will be exposed to that day. We will visit the bottom right-hand corner. You will see what's called the Public Gardens. The Public Gardens are pretty beautiful place. We'll spend some time there that day. We'll also visit Pier 21. You'll see in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Pier 21 was an ocean liner terminal and immigration center from 1928 to 1971. Often compared to Ellis Island in New York City, in that it was where new Canadians, where immigrants arrived here in Canada. About 1 million immigrants actually came through Pier 21, and statistics say that about 1 in 5 current Canadians have ties to Pier 21 with some of our family who may have arrived here through that port. So after 2 days 2 nights in Halifax, we'll head out. We'll first travel to Peggy's Cove. Peggy's Cove is an absolutely beautiful place. Peggy's Cove is actually one of the most photographed places in all of North America. It still remains today an active fishing village and a very popular favorite tourist attraction. The photo you see in the top left there, Peggy's Cove, I took that photograph last September. That platform that folks are sitting on, there's a viewing platform, brand new, and that actually previously was a roadway. And what it allows anybody who has mobility issues now, they can still get up pretty close to the lighthouse for photographs and so on, and those who wish to can still walk out to the lighthouse. There is a trail or a path that will take you out there. From there, we'll travel out to Lunenburg. Lunenburg is absolutely most beautiful, picturesque little town. About 2,300 people live there. Lunenburg is the home of Blue Nose 2 schooner that you'll see in the photograph there. Your tour director can check the Blue Nose schedule, determine whether it will be in port that day, and if she is, you'll probably have an opportunity to board her. Also, while in Lunenburg, we'll visit the Fisheries Museum of the Atlantic. You'll see that, the red building there. We'll learn an awful lot about fishing industry in that area. You'll have a guided tour through there. We'll also visit Mahone Bay. Mahone Bay is what I call a postcard village. It is so beautiful, so pretty, great photo opportunities. Very small population, only about 950 people. Call it home. The picture that you see there is after we've spent a little bit of time in town. The coach, your tour director, will take you around the bay itself to the other side and allow you a photo opportunity shooting back towards Mahone Bay. The landmarks there are the three churches that you'll see. There's Trinity United, St. John's Evangelical Lutheran Church, and there's a St. James Anglican Church as well. And that's kind of the landmarks that you'll see in Mahone Bay. So we'll spend a bit of time there that day, allow you not just to stroll the streets, get some photographs down by the harbor and the marina. Ice cream cone is always good, so we'll have a very nice time visiting Mahone Bay. Day 3 will be in Bridgewater, Nova Scotia. We'll be simply spending the night there. The hotel there takes such really great care of us, and you'll have a welcome reception that night. The hotel will prepare some really nice desserts, and we'll have tea and coffee, and we'll spend some time together that evening at our welcome reception. From there, we'll head out and we'll travel to the small village of Digby. And Digby is where we will board a ferry. We'll actually cross the Bay of Fundy. And if you remember from your school days, the Bay of Fundy has the highest and the fastest tides in the world. Well, you'll get to cross the Bay of Fundy on a ferry from Digby, Nova Scotia, and you'll be landing in St. John, New Brunswick. And while in St. John, you'll visit what's referred to as the Reversing Falls. And it's really not a falls. It's a very fast-moving rapids caused by the St. John River, which is flowing into the Bay of Fundy. When the tide is coming in, it is so fast and so high, it actually forces the river to flow backwards. And where you see the water just below that bridge, it actually is churning into what they call the Reversing Falls. But again, it's a very fast-moving rapids. From St. John, we'll head out toward Prince Edward Island. You'll be traveling along the Bay of Fundy. We'll visit a little village called Alma Beach. You'll see in that photograph there. Those fishing boats would have come into port while tide was high, and the decks of those boats would have been flush with the dock that you see at the top. Well, as the tide goes out, the boats drop and they actually settle down. There are metal racks under those boats that they settle on. When the tide comes in, the boats will lift and the fishermen will go back out to sea. So we'll visit Alma Beach on your way toward Prince Edward Island. We'll also stop and have a wonderful time at Hopewell Rocks. You'll see you'll see some of the rock formations that are caused by the tides. Again, the highest, fastest tides in the world. Thousands of years of carving those stone structures that you see there. The folks in the picture are actually walking on the floor of the ocean. When the tide is out, you'll have an opportunity to get on a flight of stairs. Very easy to navigate stairs. Will take you down to the floor of the ocean, and you'll get to walk on that. And there are just a few rocks there. There are several of them that you'll get to walk around and actually take some photographs of. You'll also at Hopewell Rocks is a wonderful visitor center. You'll see a video telling you all about the tides, educate you and all of that. And the restaurant there, you'll actually have lunch there as well. After leaving there, we'll be traveling towards PEI. We'll stop at a little village called Shediac, just a washroom stop, a rest stop. And you'll also have an opportunity to get a group photo on the world's largest lobster. And you'll see that group there. I took that photo just a few years ago. After Shediac, we'll be headed towards Prince Edward Island. You will be crossing the Confederation Bridge. The bridge is about 13 kilometers long. Will take about 13 minutes or so to cross it. And then you'll land in PEI. Just off the bridge, your tour director will have the driver take you to this location. We simply refer to this as the old train station. There is an old train station there, but it'll give you an opportunity to get up close to the bridge and take some photographs back toward the mainland. So while I'm PEI, so after you arrive, you'll go down into, make your way down to Charlottetown, and we'll be spending a couple of nights there. While there, we'll have a step-on guide come on board the coach and take us on a tour of their island, and it is truly a beautiful place. The top left corner there you'll see is a little fishing village called North Rustico. You'll spend a little bit of time there that day. There will be a guide who will take you down onto that harbor, give you an education on lobster fishing and how all that works, and give you again an opportunity to take some photographs. You'll also visit the home of Anna Green Gables. Lucy Maud Montgomery lived here, and this is where she wrote her series of Anne books. So you'll get an opportunity to visit. And if the site of Anna Green Gables is actually run by Parks Canada now, so it's a really nice site. The gentleman in the bottom left picture, his name is Bruce McNaughton. He purchased this building many years ago and opened the Prince Edward Island Preserve Company. So you'll stop there for a little bit of a time. Lots and lots of samples of incredibly tasting preserves that they produce there and ship actually all over the world. So we'll spend a little bit of time there as well that day. The evening, you're going to go back out to North Rustico and you're going to enjoy a traditional PEI lobster dinner. It's an absolutely fabulous evening. It's a dinner that's included in your package. You'll have a wonderful time. Food is great. If you're not a lobster fan, your tour director will speak to you about that, and other menu items such as chicken, steak, and so on are available as well. Huge salad bar included as well, and your drinks and desserts and what. You'll have a really fun time that night. When you leave Prince Edward Island, you won't be driving back across the bridge. You'll actually be taking a ferry from Wood Island, PEI, and it'll take you to Caribou, Nova Scotia. You'll get off the ferry in Caribou and you'll begin making your way to the small village of Bedeque. It's right in central Cape Breton Island on the shores of Bredor Lake. An absolutely beautiful, picturesque town, and it was the home of Alexander Graham Bell. The Bell family still own the home in Bedeque and still occupy that home. It's not part of what the tourist will see, but they still do own the home and live there. On day two, on the second day in Bedeque, you're going to set out and take a journey along the world-famous Cabot Trail. Absolutely spectacular scenery. Your tour director will have the coach driver pull off. There are many photo stops that you can make. You'll have the driver pull off so you can get those opportunities. The top right picture that you see there, that photo was taken last September. That's at Blackbrook Beach. And so your driver, your tour director and driver will take you to either Blackbrook Beach or Ingonish Beach and give you an opportunity to dip your toes in the Atlantic Ocean. And the drive is just spectacular. There's so much, the beauty is spectacular along the Cabot Trail. While on the trail, you will enjoy a picnic lunch at Macintosh Brook. The lunches will be prepared by the hotel, and your tour director will get those from the kitchen prior to leaving for your day on the trail. Great washroom facilities at Macintosh Brook. There's a trail you can take, which will take you up to the brook, and you'll see the top left-hand photograph. I took that a few years ago, and so you can go there and get some photos, get a group photo as we did on the bridge itself. So that's a really fun time that we have having lunch together, picnic lunch together. On your final night in Bedeque, you'll have the opportunity to attend a ceilidh. Ceilidh is a really fun time. It is an evening where local entertainers will come in, play very upbeat, toe-tapping, fun music. The couple that you see in the top left corner there, the gentleman on the guitar and the lady on the fiddle, they are a husband and wife team. They run along a piano player. There will also be an opportunity to maybe learn some dancing. You'll see in the bottom right-hand corner, and this is just a lot of fun on this evening. From there, you'll make your way down to Louisbourg. Fortress Louisbourg is a National Historic Site of Canada and the location of a reconstructed 18th century French fortress. The site today is operated by Parks Canada as a living history museum. From there, you'll make your way into North Sydney, where you'll spend the night, and the next day, at about 11:15 a.m., you will set sail for Newfoundland. You will cross the Cabot Strait, and the trip will take approximately 6.5 hours. You'll arrive in Port aux Basques, and travel to Corner Brook for the night. Corner Brook is a city with a population of about 20,000 people. Newfoundland itself, Newfoundland and Labrador, has a population of 527,000 people. The oldest known European contact here was made around 1000 AD when Leif Erikson and his crew of Vikings landed on the northern peninsula. We'll visit Rocky Harbor in Grossbourne National Park, and while in Rocky Harbor, we will take a beautiful catamaran cruise on Bon Bay. There will be a tour guide on board. You'll see him in the top right-hand corner picture. He will take us on a full tour of the bay, give us an opportunity for some fantastic picture taking, and will give us full history of that area. We'll arrive in Cowhead for the night. After offloading the bus and getting everybody checked into their hotel rooms, those who would like to, your tour director and driver will take you out to Arches Provincial Park. It's about a 20-minute drive outside of Cowhead. You'll have an opportunity to see and photograph some beautiful rock formations. You can see them in the photographs there. These formations have been caused by thousands of years of tides coming and going and carving these rock formations. From Cowhead, we'll make our way into Gander. Gander is, again, a beautiful city. Gander became quite famous during 9/11. You might remember that when the airspace over North America was closed after the attacks in New York. And many flights, many large aircraft are forced to land in Gander and spend several days there. If you've seen the musical called Come From Away, it is a musical written about that experience in the city of Gander. Fantastic play. Karen and I have seen it 3 times, and I'd see it again if the opportunity comes up. While in Gander, you will visit the Silent Witness Memorial. That's an absolutely beautiful memorial built by the U.S. military in honor of soldiers that died in a plane crash, American soldiers that died in a plane crash in Gander back in 1985. They were returning to their home base in the United States from Egypt. Plane landed for refueling, and upon taking off, again, it crashed and all soldiers lost their lives. So that's a beautiful Silent Witness Memorial you'll get to visit. Again, the Gander Airport, you'll get to visit there. Your tour guide actually was on duty the morning of 9/11 and was responsible for staging all of those aircraft that landed in Gander on that day. Fascinating stories that she'll be able to tell you. After Gander, we'll make our way over to Clarenville, and on our way, we will stop at the village of Trinity. And Trinity is a small town located on Trinity Bay in Newfoundland. The town contains a number of buildings recognized as registered heritage structures by the Heritage Foundation of Newfoundland and Labrador. We'll also visit the community of Bonavista. We'll take in an attraction called the Ryan Premises, and Ryan Premises is a National Historic Site of Canada located in the town of Bonavista, Newfoundland and Labrador. It is preserved as an example of a large-scale merchant operations in a Newfoundland outport. The site consists of the proprietor's house, a carriage shed, a retail shop, a retail store, a fish store, and a salt store. We will also visit Long Point Lighthouse. Newfoundland's coastline is very rugged, and lighthouses all around the island were instrumental in providing safe passage for ships coming and going around the island of Newfoundland and Labrador. From Clarenville, we'll make our way then toward St. John's. St. John's is a great city, a very exciting city, a very young city. The capital, St. John's is the capital and the largest city in Newfoundland and Labrador. It has a population of about 214,000 people. We'll take in a number of attractions in the city of St. John's. First of all, we'll visit Cape Spear. You'll see in the left-hand picture there. Cape Spear is the easternmost point in all of North America. Incredibly rugged coastline. They have very well protected boardwalks and trails and so on along there where you'll have an opportunity to photograph that coastline. But again, it's the easternmost point in all of North America. We'll visit Signal Hill, which is in St. John's. We'll spend some time there and learn the history around Signal Hill. The picture in the top left there you see is St. John's Harbour. We will have this day, by the way, a step-on guide who will be taking us around St. John's and showing us the highlights of their city. And one of those highlights will be down at St. John's Harbour, again, the top left-hand corner. Talk about the fishing industry. You'll maybe some fishermen there mending their nets. You'll have an opportunity to speak with them. Photograph next to that on the right is actually looking across St. John's Harbour at another part of the city. Jelly Bean Houses, bottom left-hand corner. Your tour guide will have your driver take you downtown. Parking is tough, but he will find a spot for you, and you'll have an opportunity to photograph what's known as Jelly Bean Row or Jelly Bean Houses. There is no Jelly Bean Row as such, because most of the houses in the downtown on the various streets are painted that way. The picture on the bottom right was taken from Signal Hill, looking down at the city of St. John's, and that's St. John's Harbour that is photographed there. Just outside of St. John's, not far, a little village called Kitty Vitty. It's a fishing village. I took that photograph last September. Again, a beautiful little place to visit. Some great photographs. You'll visit the Terry Fox Monument or Memorial. This is this site where Terry dipped his artificial leg in the Atlantic Ocean before setting out on his journey across Canada. And the photograph again on the right there you will see is just of St. John's Harbour. Our last night in St. John's, you're going to have a fantastic farewell dinner, but you're going to have the opportunity to experience what's called a screech-in ceremony. And those of you who follow all of the requirements will become honorary citizens of Newfoundland. You'll receive your certificate that you see, as those happy folks did last September. So that will bring the tour officially to an end, and you will fly back from St. John's to Winnipeg. So the trip, 16 days. There are 2 tours offered, September 9th and 13th. You'll see the pricing there for double occupancy. There's a single supplement as well, land only. If you choose to book your own flights or use points like air miles or so on, you'll see the cost there without airfare included. I would check though if there's no real savings to it. If you're booking your own airline tickets, if there's no real savings, I would highly suggest you do your booking with Fehr-Way only, so you travel as a group. That way you'll have your shuttle take you from the airport in Halifax to your hotel, as well as from St. John's out to the airport upon departure. But again, if you're using air miles or some other point system, that's okay as well. You'll see deposits and so on there, early booking bonuses and so on that are offered to you as well. And final payment is due 65 days prior to departure. I try to answer a few questions that are commonly asked during our in-person presentations. One is laundry. We're often asked, how do I handle laundry during the trip? A good number of the hotels you'll stay in have coin-operated laundry, and about 2 weeks prior to departure, you will get your travel documents, and in that package, there will be a list of hotels, and they'll show you on that list which of those hotels have laundry facilities available. Often asked about the weather, what to wear. Pretty tough to predict. I would certainly take, the times I've been there, I should say, we've had wonderful weather. It's been warm and sunny. We really have not experienced any amount of rain. But it is the East Coast, it is the North Atlantic, so you could have some cooler days, so you might want to take a sweater or two with you and some long pants to wear on those days. The coach itself, if you've ever taken a coach tour, then you know what to expect. But for those of you who haven't, the coach is equipped with reclining seats. It has a full audio-visual system on board. It has air conditioning, of course, onboard washroom. It has arm rests, foot rests. So very comfortable coach to travel in. One last thing about your luggage. When you bring your luggage to the bus from the airport in Halifax, that's really the last time you will handle it until you are departing the trip from St. John's, Newfoundland. The luggage will all be handled for you, taken to your rooms once you arrive at the end of your day, and returned to the coach the next morning and load it onto the coach for your journey that day. So luggage handling will all be taken care of for you, and each person is allotted one suitcase for the trip. So folks, that's the presentation. If you have any questions at all, and hopefully you will, if you have any questions at all, please contact the Fehr-Way office in Winnipeg. Diane or one of the office staff would love an opportunity to answer questions for you about this tour. If you have your pen, pencil, paper handy, I'm going to give you a couple of phone numbers you can call to talk to Diane or talk to one of the staff. Local number in Manitoba, 204 989 7011, 204 989 7011. There's also a 1-800 number if you're calling from out of town, 1-800 263 3691, 1-800 263 3691. And Fehr-Way is on the web, of course, all one word, all lowercase, fehrwaytours.com. And that'll take you to the website. So folks, thank you for taking the opportunity to listen to me this afternoon. Hope you consider this tour. It is absolutely fantastic. It's a fabulous tour. The East Coast is a beautiful place to visit. People on the East Coast will create memories for you that will last a lifetime. Great talking to you, and hope to see you again someday. Bye-bye.